Hey, what's up, coaches? I'm Coach Besaw from spreadoffensefootball.com. So today's video is all about one back power versus an odd front. Before I get to today's video, if you haven't yet, make sure to hit subscribe and then tap the bell right next to it so you can get notified anytime I come out with a video on my channel. Also, if you haven't joined the Spread Offense Facebook group yet, go to facebook.com/groups/the Spread Offense. Join the community full of great coaches and start talking football. All right, let's get to one back power versus an odd front. Okay, so we're going to look at going one back power to the left. The way that I got here is your traditional 3-4 look. And I'll get into the 3-3 stack here, but I had a few coaches email me afterwards, after that digital clinic, asking for kind of this shell here and then also 3-3 stack. So that's what you're going to see here. If you've gotten my ebook, it's on my website. If you haven't gotten it already, you can download it there for free, also on CoachTube for free. And the way I coach it up in the ebook is it's more pin and pull. So really, you could either pull the center or the backside guard, depending on what type of technique the front is in, whether it's a 3 technique or a 2-eye. You could pin and pull the center, or you could pull the backside guard. A lot of coaches like that. Some coaches don't like that just because they're not comfortable pulling their center, which makes sense too. I like doing it both ways. Some coaches may be more comfortable pulling their backside guard because that's what they do. So that's the way I'm going to draw it up here and show you guys. We're going to be pulling the backside guard, and with that, we're going to be blocking on the front side. We're going to be base blocking this. So just to go over the blocking rules before we get into the concept with the RPO stuff, we're going to be base blocking the front side. So when we get to our left tackle, he's got someone head up to him, so he's going to block him. Our left guard on the front side, he does not have anyone in front of him. There's no one in his A gap or B gap. He has really no one to man block on this front side, so he's going to block down on the nose, and our center is going to block down as well. So we're going to get a double team on this nose, which is great if you're playing against a team that has a nose that's just really good and you need to put 2 hats on one. This is a great concept because this gets you to do that. So they're going to combo this nose to the backside backer. And then on the backside, our right guard, he's going to be pulling, and he's pulling for that front side linebacker there. And then our right tackle is not going to let anyone in the backside B gap. So he's kind of step hinging, making sure there's no penetration there. And that's his responsibility on the backside anytime we run this type of concept here. So you can see the box here. They have a 5-man box. We have 5 guys to block. So we're blocking everyone in the box. And the read for us when we get an odd front is when we get the odd front here, whether it's a 3-4 or a 3-3 stack, when we get odd, we read the third linebacker. Okay, so we're going to read the third linebacker from the front side box. Okay, no matter what type of look they are in with their linebackers, if we get an odd front, we're reading the third linebacker from the front side of the box. Okay, so if I were to draw a line around the box here, okay, this is our box, and we're going to look at the third linebacker from the front side. So this linebacker would be 1, he would be 2, and he would be 3. So he is our read key right now, this overhang defender on this side of the field. So he's our overhang defender. He's the third linebacker from the front side of this box. They put 5 guys in the box. We're going to use our 5 guys to block everyone up. Now, the RPO concept, really there's 2 kind of concepts, and we're splitting the field here. We're splitting the field with an RPO concept, which is going to be the right side of the field. And the reason being this is the RPO concept is because post-snap at the mesh point between the quarterback and running back, the quarterback's chest is going to be open to this side of the field. So we have to read the defender on this side, and there he is right there. So that's the RPO concept. And then on this side of the field, this is our access throw. So on the left side, we're getting our access throw, which is a pre-snap read for our quarterback. And so what he's going to do, get pre-snap read, we're going to have this built into the concept. And it could be built in for the week, depending on what we look at on film over the weekend, or it could be built in during the game. We can make in-game adjustments with whatever quick game concept that we like here on this 2-receiver side. The reason why I don't tag it and tag it openly during the game is because I have tags that I use with my run schemes, whether it's zone read, outside zone, and counter tray. I tag a lot of our quick game pass with our run stuff, and I have rules for that. And so I don't want to break the rules to satisfy this one play. So that's why it's going to be built in here. But, the first thing that I would think of, which is very simple and we're able to get a lot of reps in practice with, is just running a bubble to number 2. Now, I know most of you, if you guys seen my videos before, you've probably seen me draw up bubble 100 times now, and you're probably sick of it, but it's so easy and so simple, and I don't see enough coaches using bubble in their quick game tags or access throws here. It's just so simple and so easy to coach. You really don't need to get super tricky when you're getting into RPOs, because the whole point of the run pass option, putting defenders in conflict, is enough for you to win and threaten the defense in the pass or the run. So you don't have to get really tricky with what you're doing and try to outthink this. So I put him on a bubble here. Again, you can do other things. You could put him on, have 2 hitches. You could have the slant arrow combo. You could have the number 1 running a quick screen with number 2 blocking the corner. Whatever it is that you're comfortable in your offense. The whole point and the reason why you're having an access throw here, though, is that you want to threaten this outside linebacker and you want to attack space. So really what this does here is it is not allowing these overhang defenders or these outside linebackers to fold into the box and play the run, at least pre-snap. If they do that, then we have an answer for it. And that's really what they're actually used for. If they're gonna if they're gonna get a read, a run read, then most likely they're going to be responsible for the C gap and come off the edge, because this defense here is really designed to have these tackles come inside, or really what they want to do is they want to spill everything to the outside and let these guys make tackles. So pre-snap, we're not allowing him to fold into the box or get tucked into the box where they create 6-man box, because if they do, then our quarterback is going to catch the football and he's going to throw the ball out here where we're attacking space. And right now, if he was to creep into the box as we're in our cadence, our quarterback's going to catch and throw the bubble as we've got the numbers out here. Okay, so that's why it's really important to get these access throws, rep these out, and really go through the different quick game stuff that you have and attack that space there to make the defense honest and not allow extra defenders to creep into the box. Now on the RPO side with the two receivers here on the right side, the whole point of the RPO is to put a defender in conflict. And the only way you can put a defender in conflict is if you attack his space. So we need to attack and make this outside linebacker feel pressured to either cover the pass because he's threatened in the air, or we're obviously threatening him and we're a threat to him in the run game by running power to the left. So we have to attack this space to keep him honest as well. Now, the first concept that I like, and one that's built in for our offense is the stick concept. And so for us, we're just going to send Y. He's going to run 5 yards, and he's going to turn outside and expect the football. With our number 1 receiver, he's going to get an outside release, and he's running a go route. We're not really throwing the ball to him. His main job is to take this corner with him and kind of clear out that space. So if we do throw the ball to Y, we put it on his outside pad, and he's got room to run. So going with the RPO, that's the first concept that's built in. This is all you would need right here, okay? And all you would have to say is whatever, if you call this power, call it power. If you call it something else, all you have to say is the run scheme, and everyone should know on the right side of the field it's stick, on the left side of the field it's bubble, or whatever quick game that you have for that week, okay? Now in the backfield, for me, this is just like inside zone read. So we're going to line up outside leg of the guard. Our running back is going to step 45 degrees to the play side with his left foot, and then he's going to replace that where his left foot came with his right foot. So he's going to step, replace, and I call that a J step, and I stole that from Chip Kelly. At the mesh point, he's going to keep his shoulders square, and he's really tracking the backside hip of this guard, and essentially he's going to follow that guard wherever he goes. Guard goes through the hole. We want to follow him as he takes us to daylight. So mesh point is very simple for the backs because we do it every single day in practice. It's zone read, and that's a big part of what we do. So we're definitely getting enough reps there. Now, our quarterback, he's going to drop step his right foot, and he's going to square up this overhang defender on the outside and make sure we get our eyes on him, and he's going to let that running back run down his toes. Okay, so he's going to drop step his right and then square up, shoulder width apart, and then he's going to ride and decide. And for me, when we ride and decide, that's the time where the quarterback, he's immediately when he gets the football, he's going to put the ball on his back leg. So this would be his right leg. And we want to put that ball on our right leg, and we want to meet the running back at the mesh point. And then we're going to ride all the way until the football gets to our front leg. And we have to make a decision by the time that happens. We cannot rip the ball out of the belly of the back if that ball goes past our front leg, because then we're kind of lunging and leaning forward. Running back may think he has it. Quarterback may think he's trying to rip it and could come off the hip, and usually bad things happen. So we're going to ride into side, and we're going to get a read on this overhang defender. So for us here, if this overhang defender, if he hesitates at all, okay, and he gets number 2 comes vertical, and his hips are square, hesitates, or it just sits under number 2, then we're going to run the football because we have 5 guys in the box to block their 5 guys. And he did not do enough to become a threat in the run and did not enter the box. Now, if he turns his hips, ball snapped, he turns his hips, he gets downhill and he vacates this area. If he comes off the edge here, then our quarterback's going to rip the ball and he's going to throw the stick route to number 2. Okay, so that's really a very simple read that you can rep out. You can make this a coach in practice, and you can have him give the quarterback those 2 reads. Either he's going to sit here, play number 2, okay, or he's going to come off the edge and attack the mesh. Okay, and then your quarterback will make the right decision based on what you do. Okay, now if we get into, let's do 3-by-1 concept. So let's bring A over. He'll be our number 3 receiver. Okay, and we'll make the adjustment for the blocking here. For now, let's just say they stay in this 3-4 look here, and they'll bring him off the edge. So we'll adjust our blocking for this because now we have a different look. And most of the time, actually, this is what I get with the defense when it comes to odd fronts. If they're not in a stack, usually I get this look here. So we get that linebacker off the edge, and they're going to send that nickel player, or whoever it is, on the 3 receiver side. So if we get this look, same concept applies here. The right side is still our RPO side. The left side is still our access throw. And now our read is going to change. And the reason being is because the count from the front side of the box has changed. So remember, in the odd front, we're going to read the 3rd linebacker from the front side box. Well, now with this linebacker being a stand-up guy, we have to extend the box. And so for me, when I do that, when I get this look, the box has extended to make that linebacker part of the run game, okay? And usually I don't see a whole lot of teams, they don't adjust from that regular 3-4 shell look to this here. If we do play an odd front, like I said, most of the time we're getting this stand-up here every single down. So we know where he's at, and it's not something where our reads are changing throughout the game a whole lot. So this is just one look that you may get. And again, the RPO concept side is going to stay on the right side. Access side is going to stay on the left. Now let's go over the reads here, and let's go over the blocking. So when we get this look here, you can see that, remember, we're blocking base, we're base blocking on the front side of this. So now our left tackle has someone head up to him with the defensive tackle, and he's got a +1 to his outside with the linebacker. So he's got to let the left guard know that he's got +1 to his outside. So whatever you want to use, you can say kick, push, fan, bang, whatever buzzword that you have, to alert the guard that he's got to take the tackle so our tackle can take the linebacker. So we want to be 2 for 2 out here, okay? So that's how we're going to handle that there. And then our center is going to be 1 for 1 on the nose, okay? So we're going to be 1 for 1 there. And then our backside guard is going to pull for the play side linebacker. And then same responsibilities on the backside here. Our tackle is going to step hinge, not allow any penetration from that defensive tackle. Now, I think you can start to see where the reads are changing here, and the reason being is because what they've done now is they've added 6 guys in the box here. So we only have 5 guys to block. They have 6 in the box. That means we have to read one of their defenders that's in the box. So if we go with this rule here, read the 3rd linebacker from the front side box, this linebacker's 1, he's 2, and he's 3. So he is now our read key, and this is who our quarterback's eyes are going to be on post-snap. Now, our routes are going to change with our RPO concept, but again, for us, this isn't like an in-game adjustment because all of a sudden they jump to this look. Most of the time what we get when we face a team that we know is going to be in an odd front, we know they have a stand-up edge, and we know the overhang's on the other side of the field. So we don't have to make a whole lot of adjustments in-game, okay? Now, looking at the RPO concept side, we want to attack this guy's space here. Remember, RPO is all about putting a guy in conflict, making him feel like he's got to defend the pass and the run. So again, the only way to make him feel like he's got to defend both is to be able to attack his space. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to put number 3 here, our number 3 receiver, which is A, and we're going to send him on a spot route. You can call it a snag if you want to, but really A is right when the ball snapped, he's getting an inside release. He's running right to a spot, and that spot is 1 yard behind this linebacker, and then he's going to settle down right there. So he's going to settle 1 yard behind him. He's not going to get upfield any more than that, because if he were, then he's going to start working to these safeties, and obviously we don't want to run to coverage. Okay? Now, our number 2 receiver, Y, he's going to run a bubble. In this bubble, we're not throwing the bubble. We'll never throw the bubble. The bubble is here for a purpose, and it's to try to pull this overhang away from our A or our number 3 receiver. And we don't want this overhang to get handsy on A. We don't want him to collision A or disrupt A getting vertical, because we want a clean release to that spot. And we think bubble does the best job of that. And the reason being is because we run bubble so much that we get influence from this guy to the outside because they're so used to seeing that type of action. So we're hoping that we can pull him away from number 3 running that spot route. And then with number 1 on the backside, we're going to run a 5-yard in route. Okay. Now the reason for the 5-yard in route is to have an answer for when they have an answer to our RPO. So one of their answers could be take this overhang defender. Maybe he's lined up more on the 3, and he does collision our A. So A gets vertical, he gets inside, and the overhang defender gets his hands on him, and he reroutes him, and he squeezes that route. Okay. When he does that, what he's done is he vacated this area, and now we want to be able to attack this space. Okay, so that's why we send number 1 on the fin route, because we're going to run a route behind the overhang in case he chases A on his spot route. All right, so just going over the reads, and then also with the access throw, again, your single receiver, you can make any type of quick game that you want. Hitch, slant, out, fade route, whatever it is. Again, you're going to incorporate your quick game for this concept here. Okay, so I'll leave that open there. But looking here with our read now, same thing applies for our read. So our quarterback's going to get his eyes on the linebacker. Again, if the linebacker is downhill, so if he's going to get on the backside of this and trigger on the mesh to fill a gap, okay, or he's scraping over the top of the nose as he sees guard pulling, then that cues our quarterback to rip the ball out of the belly of the back. And when he does that, we want to just quickly get our eyes on the overhang defender. We don't have to stare him down. He should be in our line of vision as our chest and eyes are open to this side of the field. So we want to know exactly what he's doing, because if he's squeezing this route and trying to take A away from his spot, then we're going to quick set our feet and throw the fin route behind him. Okay. If he doesn't do that, if he lets number 3 go vertical inside and he gets width to rob the bubble, or he sees number 1 coming in and he tries to rob that route there kind of in his curl responsibility, then we're going to throw the window and we're going to throw the ball to A on that spot route. Okay. So that's kind of our answer in our response to this overhang defender who could cause a problem for our number 3 receiver trying to get to his spot. All right. Also, again, going back to the read with the linebacker, same thing kind of here applies. If number 3 gets vertical and this linebacker gets width, because most of the time with cover 2, this linebacker, if in a 3-by-1, his job is to not let 3 get vertical over the top or to the middle of the field. Why? Because that's where the space is. So if we run vertical with our number 3 and this linebacker steps to him or turns his shoulders to try to wall off the middle, and really he's in coverage now and trying to take the route away from us, then we're going to run our power game to the left, because now we have our 5 guys blocking their 5 guys in the box. Okay. Even if he keeps his hips square to the line of scrimmage, but he pedals or he just hesitates here and he's a little bit slow on his read, then that may put our quarterback in question on what to do with the football. And then anytime our quarterback's in doubt, we always hand the ball off. So if he's just going to sit here in his spot and really not give us a good look, then we're going to hand the ball off to our back, and we're going to take our shot with running power to the left. He may be an open, unblocked defender, able to make a tackle. But if we're able to block this thing up right, hopefully, we hope that it's for 5, 6, 7 yards, okay? So there's kind of how you can do it versus your 3-4 look with the 2 overhangs and a 5-man box, 2-by-2 structure, and then also with this adjustment here when they kind of get into this okie look, 6-man box, and then a 3-by-1 look as well. Okay, now it's pretty much the same when you're facing a 3-3 stack. A little bit different blocking responsibilities, but the read's going to be the same. Third linebacker from the front side. So now they have 6 guys in the box, which means we have to read one of the defenders that's in the box because we only have 5 guys to block. So if we go over the blocking responsibilities on the front side, we're going to be basing the front side. Our left guard doesn't have anyone on his A gap or B gap. There's just 1-for-1 out here, so he's going to block down on the nose, and our center is going to double that nose as well. Now this combo here is going to go up to the middle linebacker here. Okay, this could get vertical real quick depending on how good this middle linebacker is and how quickly he triggers. If he's got a fast trigger, the mesh point, quarterback and running back are at the mesh point, and he's a fast trigger to get downhill, then really our priority's got to be able to come off this nose and pick up that linebacker. So it really depends on how good that middle linebacker is. It'll determine, how long that combo will last and how much you can get a push with this double team on the nose before you got to climb to that linebacker. And really, these two should be reading this linebacker here. So when you get this odd look, this nose is usually a 2-gap player, so he's responsible for both A gaps. So most likely, if this nose is going to take this A gap here, then you could almost assume that this middle linebacker is going to be the other A gap. And so if that's the case, if this nose is going to take this gap here, most likely your guard's going to stay on it and your center is going to come off underneath for the middle linebacker. Same, the opposite, I guess, would be true. If the nose takes the backside A gap, then most likely the center is going to stay on that and your left guard's going to come off over the top and get the middle linebacker there. But really, it could get vertical very quick depending on how good that middle linebacker is. And then our backside guard is going to pull for the play side linebacker here. So as he's pulling, we want his eyes to be on this front side linebacker. If he shoots the B gap, then we want to pull through that B gap for him. If he scrapes over the top, like they're doing some sort of gap exchange, with our eyes on this front side linebacker, if he scrapes over the top, then we'll take this thing outside and we'll work to where that linebacker is. And then on the backside, our right tackle is going to step hinge, same responsibility. He's not going to allow any penetration from that defensive tackle. Okay, so 6 guys in the box, we have 5 guys to block, and we're going to read the third linebacker from the front side. So he's 1, he's 2, he's 3. So there's our read key right here. We can't block everyone in the box, so we're going to have to make a read. Okay, same thing on the access side. Any type of quick game that you want, right away, I like the stick option and clearing out with number 1. Why? Because I like that space here. You could run bubble, but I like getting downhill when there is no overhang to one side of the field. So whether it's a stick, whether it's a hitch, a 5-yard out, whatever it may be, whatever quick game you want to throw in there, that's going to be your access, your pre-snap read for the quarterback. Okay. On the RPO side here, remember, we want to attack the space. So just like the previous clip, we're going to take number 2 and we're going to run him on a spot route. And again, that's that 1-yard route where he sits right behind that linebacker. Okay. And then number 1 is going to run that fin route. And it's the same philosophy from the previous clip where we're getting that same read. We're going to read here. If he triggers on the mesh and he fills a gap and he's trying to play the run, then we're going to quickly get our eyes on the overhang. He squeezes Y and collisions and gets his hands on him, then we're going to throw the fin. If he lets number 2 go vertical inside, doesn't collision him, and he gets his eyes on number 1 to rob the curl, then we're going to throw the ball to Y, who's running his spot route. We're basically putting the football where the defense isn't. And you can see with these few different concepts, with the 3-3 stack and that kind of oaky look, whether it was a 3x1 or a 2x2, we're still able to get those same reps in practice. It's just happening with different defenders and coming from different formations. But overall, it's the same read for the quarterback. So he's able to master these reads because he can get them in individual, in group, before, after practice. You're able to master this read of reading the backside linebacker, eyes to the overhang defender. So that's how you can run single back power versus an odd front. You have your 3-4 look, the oaky look, and then also your 3-3 stack. All right, coaches, there's one back power versus an odd front. A couple different looks for you guys, whether it's 2x2, 3x1, and different looks that you might see on defense. So I hope that helps. And if you are able to take anything from this video and you like the video and what you saw, then make sure you give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And then also, if you want to continue to learn and grow as a coach in the spread, and you want to get up to date on all the videos that I have, make sure you subscribe to my channel and then tap the bell next to it so you can get notified next time I release a video. Also, if you guys have one back power in your offense and you do it differently, I'd love to hear from you because I love to learn from you guys as much as I hope you're able to learn from me. So leave a comment below. Let me know how you guys are doing it and what makes it successful for you. Thanks again for joining me, Coach. And remember to play fast, score fast, and run the spread.